STEM talent and engineers because it happens to be a draw for black engineers is more than an anti-DEI initiative. It is an intentional effort to avoid certain kinds of people in recruiting.
So in my time in recruiting, without the guardrails of DEI, that's what happens every time. So don't tell me it's not a push for resources. It's a push for resources to get positions that ultimately, when you remove the guardrail, it becomes meritless. That's what actually happens. That's stating it like it is. Shelley, your thoughts again, because again, this is what happens anytime this happens.
Let me just say this. Those people can still be recruited, right? I'm not saying it was right. I disagree with it. When I sent my email to my contacts at the White House, I said, this is a bad move, right? It's a bad move in every single way as presented by the Senator Tim, I forgot his name, but anyway, the senator, he's from Tennessee. But that guy that just spoke, I forgot his name. But anyway, it's a bad move. I didn't agree with it. I sent an email to my people saying, look, y'all need to fix this because it's not a good move, right? But the point is that those kids can still be recruited. They still can be recruited in the same way anybody else is recruited to the Army, right? So it's a bad move. You shouldn't have done it, but those kids can still be recruited. The Army, when I was in college, when I first got out of college, my first job was at Young and Rubicam. Young and Rubicam had a whole division. They had separate offices and everything in our office building, where the U.S. Army had an account for minority recruitment. This was in 1984, 85, 86, 87, and all that. The guy that ran it was the account executive. He was working for the Army. He worked for the Pentagon, and he ran the account. And they did this for years. You would see the ads on black shows and movies and places and video and all that stuff. It was a concerted effort to recruit African Americans into the military. And at that time, we saw a large number of African Americans join the military. And a lot of my friends joined up at that time because of, and what they were offering at the time, it wasn't the ads that you see now. The ads back then all talked about free education, you know, get an education, come join the Army and get these resources and take advantage of these things that you can get once you leave the Army or while you're in the Army, right? And so it became an opportunity for jobs, much like it's an opportunity for jobs for rural white kids. I'm in a small town. I got no other options to get out of this town. I'm not going to be an engineer. I'm not going to be a lawyer. I'm not going to be a doctor. I'm going to join the military. And so that's what's going on. I don't agree with it, but that's my take on it. You can still recruit engineers from black HBCUs, black engineers, by going directly to them. And that's the case. Do I think it hurts the overall military? Probably will in 10 to 15 years, because it's an all volunteer Army and it's short-sighted. But you know, I voiced my concern. So that you know, I agree.